Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 6 o'clock, and we begin tonight with this new push to overturn Richard Allen's conviction in the Delphi murders trial. His attorneys tonight are citing major errors that they say could have changed the outcome of Allen's case. Our Samantha Johnson is in studio tonight at 6 to break down what we've learned. Sam?
Well, Scott, this is called a motion to correct errors. It was filed late last night. Allen's attorneys list 4 major concerns about this case and about this trial. Right now, we are going to focus on 2 of them that include new evidence we've never seen before. For years, the doctor who performed the autopsies on the 2 young girls said 2 blades were used in their murders. But now the defense claims for the first time ever during trial, that same doctor said the girls could have been killed by a single box cutter. They say that matches an alleged confession by Ron Logan. In spring 2017, a man who says he heard that confession wrote, Logan confessed to killing the girls with a box cutter and burning his clothes in a fire pit. The defense now arguing if Dr. Kaur said 7 years earlier that the girls could have been killed by a box cutter, there would certainly have been probable cause to arrest and charge Ron Logan with the girls' murders. Former prosecutor and defense attorney Brad Banks.
A lot of the defense theory was not allowed to be presented in court. And they're saying based on that new evidence, that testimony about the other person confessing should have been allowed into evidence.
Another error is about the timeline of the murders. The defense claims the state allowed the jury to hear inaccurate testimony from Brad Weber. He claimed he drove his white van by the crime scene around 2:30 the day of the murders. That was just moments before Libby's phone stopped moving. A prison psychologist testified Allen confessed that a van spooked him that day, the state calling that a detail only the killer would know. The defense now pushing back, saying Weber's arrival at about 2:30 could not have been a detail only the killer would know because it did not happen. The defense posting this video from a security camera. They say it shows a white van in the far left corner arriving at about 2:44, which does not line up with the state's timeline. Allen's attorneys now calling on the court to schedule a hearing about these errors or overturn Allen's conviction altogether. All right, so that's a lot to break down, but this filing has even more information about this case that we had never heard of, like the fact that Allen was originally booked into jail under a fake name. The attorney we talked to today told me in his 25 years, he's never once seen that happen.
Wow. So what comes next in this case? Yeah,
so we know the state technically has a chance to respond because this motion is not technically the appeal, right? We've been waiting for this appeal. This essentially just puts a pause on that process. So we know that the defense essentially bought themselves more time. We did reach out to the Carroll County prosecutor for comment. We did not hear back, but the state will have a chance to file that response before the judge will rule on this motion. But we understand that could take several weeks.
All right, Samantha Johnson's been covering this trial for us. She'll continue to cover it and give us updates when they come out. Sam, thanks. Angela?
Scott, weather impact alert due to dangerous cold. Check out these wind chills right now. Feeling like 20 below zero in Crawfordsville, feeling like 15 below in Greencastle, 16 below in Lebanon and Brownsburg, and 19 below zero is the current wind chill in Zionsville. Dangerously cold temperatures and wind chills over the next 12 to 18 hours or so. The weather impact alert through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Because of the cold, frostbite can happen in about 30 minutes. Dress in layers. Plan for school delays. We are already seeing closings and delays come in, and they are scrolling along the bottom of your screen. Temperatures this evening in the single digits now will go below zero over the next couple of hours. Overnight numbers 0 to 5 below. There will be school delays, and those temperatures once again struggle single digits through mid-morning tomorrow before eventually we start to climb out of the deep freeze. Highs tomorrow in the 20s.
Angela, thanks so much. And of course, you can track this Arctic air using our WTHR weather app. Gives you the access to our interactive radar and the weather blog. It's right on your phone. You can also track school closings and delays. It's a free download. You can go get it right now in your app store. A suspected serial killer with alleged victims across the country is on trial this week for the murder of an Indianapolis mother. Our Rich Nye was in court today for the first day of testimony, which wrapped up about an hour ago. Rich?
Scott, 31-year-old Karma Papura was an Indianapolis mother with 2 children. She went missing on July 11, 2007. Her family has been waiting nearly 2 decades for someone to be held responsible for her death. Today, the prosecution told the jury that they will prove that Bruce Mendenhall shot Papura in the head with a rifle that he kept in his semi-truck. Papura was last seen near Mendenhall's truck cab at the Flying J truck stop at the Harding Street exit off I-465 on the south side of Indy. The next day, a detective investigating another woman's murder approached Mendenhall's truck at a different truck stop in Nashville, Tennessee. And during a search of the truck cab, he found a bag with troubling evidence.
I pulled the bag open, I looked inside the bag, and I saw what was obviously, to me, to be blood. There was a lot of blue napkins in there that were blood-soaked. There was a lot of clothing in there that was blood-soaked. I could see a pair of women's Croc shoes and what appeared to me to be women's clothing, all blood-soaked.
That clothing belonged to Karma Papura. Her phone and ATM card were also found in that bag. Her body was found along a Kentucky highway about 4 years later. Mendenhall is already serving 2 life sentences for killing 2 women in Tennessee. He's suspected of killing others in multiple states across the state. This trial, Scott, is expected to wrap up tomorrow.
We know you'll continue to cover it for us. Rich Nye reporting live. Thanks so much. Tonight at 6, a woman's estranged husband is now under arrest for shooting her and killing her unborn child. IMPD tells us the 36-year-old man shot his wife several times last Sunday on the south side of Indy. The woman was taken to a hospital where she is expected to be okay. However, her unborn baby was pronounced dead. Now, according to the court documents, this man told police he was planning to kill the woman and the unborn child before taking his own life. Tonight, he's facing a preliminary charge of attempted murder with more criminal charges expected. Tonight at 6, a Marion man is now pleading guilty in the death of an Indiana State police officer back in 2023. Master Trooper James Bailey was killed after he was struck by a car while on duty in DeKalb County. Terry Sands II, the driver that hit Trooper Bailey, is tonight agreeing to a plea deal. Sands pleaded guilty to resisting law enforcement and aggravated battery. Now, according to police, Sands was involved in a chase with Fort Wayne police when he struck the trooper. A sentencing hearing is set for February 27th. Tonight, a 4-year-old is stable after Muncie police say he was shot by a sibling. Police tell us this happened Saturday night on Milton Street near Centennial Avenue and Walnut Street. Our Chase Mhal has been in Muncie covering this case. So, Chase, do we know how this 9-year-old got a gun?
Well, according to police, they found it inside this home behind me. And when they were messing around with it, that's when the 4-year-old was shot.
Juvenile shot himself in the chest.
That juvenile, police say, was a 4-year-old little boy. And rather than him shooting himself in the chest, Muncie PD would later learn it was actually his 9-year-old sibling who pulled the trigger. Police say it all went down inside this home on Milton Street just after 8 Saturday night. Investigators say the 9-year-old found the gun inside the home and fired it, hitting the toddler. And while the investigation is still ongoing, Muncie police say the appropriate agencies have been notified. I did reach out to the Muncie Police Department to find out if anyone has been arrested and to the Delaware County prosecutor to see if any charges will be filed, but I have not heard back. Reporting here in Muncie, Chase Howell, 13 News.